Hey there! We are finally in July, so this is a good time to review some of the big things that happened in the web dev space in the first part of the year.
This is what's happening in your world tonight.
Let's start with some notable releases. Hang on tight because there are quite a few of them. First of all, Qwik has reached version 1. This is a full-stack web framework that brings a fundamentally new approach to delivering instant apps at scale. The main focus of the web community in 2023 is to optimize the way we serve web apps to our clients. Multi-page applications, server-side rendering, or Qwik's resumability architecture are just some of the ideas gaining popularity in our quest to serve HTML-first, progressive enhanced apps that excel on all performance metrics. In the same new wave of frameworks, we got Astro 2.0 released in January. This is yet another full-stack TypeScript-based framework which is leveraging the Islands architecture for the same purpose of optimizing app performance and initial loading times. The results are fairly impressive, and some apps ported to Astro can be up to 30% faster with 90% less JavaScript shipped to the browser. Astro is one of my personal favorites, it is easy to work with and integrates well with a lot of front-end libraries. All this activity in the meta framework space is forcing some of the major players to make big moves as well. In May, we got the next 13.4 version, which, in their words, is a major foundational release. The new app router is now stable, and thanks to React Server components, streaming, and simplified data fetching, Next is slowly closing the performance gap between them and the competition. Next is also relying on TurboPack now, an incremental bundler and build system optimized for JavaScript and TypeScript. TurboPack is an alternative to Vite, which is an alternative to Webpack, which ended up replacing Grunt and Gulp, which started as simple tools to bundle our silly little JavaScript code. You know what they say about the longevity of any JavaScript project, right?
60% of the time, it works every time.
Anyhow, Next enjoys the backing of Vercel, a fairly powerful company, so we can bet they'll do pretty well in this new but old reality of building web apps with zero client JavaScript. Speaking of big players trying to reinvent themselves, Angular 16 was released in May and continues the effort of the Angular dev team to make the framework lighter and more performant. In the past year, they introduced concepts such as standalone components or signals as a reactivity alternative to Zone.js. A request for comments to improve control flow was opened a few weeks back, so, all in all, Angular is now starting to get on the right path in my opinion. Okay, so we kinda need to rush through the rest of these releases, or it could end up taking the whole day. A new ViewMiner version is out with better language tools and dev quality life improvements. Nuxt 3 is also gaining a lot of momentum, and they announced a clear path for versioning and yearly major releases moving forward. Svelte 4 is out with a lot of cleanup and marking the path for a full rewrite of the runtime and the compiler in Svelte 5. The Million.js release got a lot of attention because it's now more obvious than ever that the virtual DOM is a deprecated idea which only adds overhead in the context of modern web apps. Aurelia 2, Ember 5, or Lit 3 are just a few of the other major releases, but please let me know in the comments if you feel like I missed something important. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why in the hell do we need so many libraries and frameworks? This is a question as old as time, and you have every right to be frustrated. I got bad news for you though. There is a chance you can make money with your poorly written JavaScript framework. After Shopify acquired Remix late last year, Netlify acquired Gatsby in February. So here it is. The incentive you needed to start building your own better, faster, and more importantly, different JavaScript framework. In the past month, we got a couple of interesting results from various popular dev surveys. On one hand, the state of JavaScript confirmed some of the things we already knew.
Thank you!
Established frameworks like Angular, React, or Vue have a difficult time keeping devs interested, especially compared to the likes of Svelte, Solid, or Qwik. This is also the first time they introduced the concept of rendering frameworks, and Next.js, SvelteKit, and Astro are fighting for the first place here. StackOverflow also released their results, and one of the main takeaways for the web dev space is that TypeScript is continuing to grow in popularity and usage. Rich Harris, the creator of Svelte, has a pretty compelling take to use plain JavaScript for very specific use cases, like building tools and libraries, but for us, the mere mortals, TypeScript should probably always be preferred instead of JavaScript. Don't take my word for it. Here is Douglas Crockford arguing for the exact same thing. Probably the biggest takeaway for the past 6 months is the rapid growth in the AI space. If 2022 was mostly about ChatGPT, 2023 is filled with a lot of related releases. Most AI services offer dev subscriptions these days, and models are being released left and right. Services provided by companies like Hugging Face will slowly become must-haves in any tech stack, and you can check the top right corner for a video where I'm showing how easy it is to add AI capabilities to your web apps in 2023. And you should stop complaining about the difficulties of browser and mobile support. We are just a few months away from getting yet another device your apps will get a chance to crash in. Before wrapping things up, I want to quickly review some of my predictions from the beginning of the year. All in all, I believe I'm still on track. Kind of. MPAs and server-side rendered apps are clearly the new focus of all major frameworks. Most libraries have a meta framework now, and they are all covering the entire spectrum of full-stack development. The Deno team is continuing their work to make edge development the new norm, with Fresh receiving more attention and with tools such as SaaSkit and Loom covering a lot of use cases. Backend as a service solutions are very popular, with players like Vercel and Deno Deploy expanding their hosting and data services. The one thing I'm currently on the fence about is Rust. Wasm is slowly getting traction, and Laptos looks more than interesting, but the drama we are seeing in the Rust community these days is kind of discouraging for people who are looking for long-term, stable solutions. Okay, this is it. It would really help me if you click the like and subscribe buttons, and until next time, thank you for watching.